NAB 2017, we're at the Blackmagic booth. We're going to check out the new ATEM and a couple other products next.
We did a number of new product updates pre-NAB this year, kind of the first time we've gotten a bunch of things out so we can kind of focus on a few different things at the show. A couple of things we wanted to talk about here were our ATEM television studio. Now this is a new 1RU 2/3 rack size product that has 8 inputs, all HD, so I can go up to 1080p 60. So it's important to know that this isn't an Ultra HD product like some of our other switchers that we have out there. But it still has all the same great ATEM controls that we've had before, and it can be used via Ethernet to use our ATEM software or our ATEM control panels. Okay. But the nice part here is we've actually got the ability to do some tactile controls on the front. And that's important if we're starting to do things like building Pelican cases, building racks on the road, building a truck, where someone just wants to have some simple cutting capabilities and be able to cut between a couple different cameras, add simple transitions. All or many of these controls are located right on the front of the ATEM television studio here. And at a price at $9.95, it's something that's very affordable for someone's trying to get into switching for the first time and have these high-end production values in a small form factor.
Now, it also has 2 media players.
Yep, it still has the 2 media players, so we can go in and we can scroll through our different stills to be able to go ahead and choose what we're going to have there. The ability to use these in a environment where I can be on the road, I can set something up permanent. At $9.95, it becomes a very flexible piece for us. So it'll still have your media pool where you can go ahead and load various stills in there. So if we've got another computer where we've hooked up all of our stills earlier, you'll have that in your media pool, and you can queue those up by rolling through your different still images, loading those into the media player, and that will do your lower thirds in there as well.
So it has a chroma key feature. Is it 1 chroma key or 2 chroma keys?
It's just 1 chroma key that's in there. So it's basically it's the important thing is it's only have 1 DVE in there. So I can either do 1 wipe or 1 picture-in-picture or 1 chroma key. Next to that we have our web presenter. And web presenter has been a great product for us because we've found that there's lots of folks that use Blackmagic products for streaming. And that's great if you use an Intensi card or a DeckLink card or one of our Ultra Studio Mini recorders for the inputs. And if you're a technically minded person, that's not so bad. We load up the drivers, we make sure the software sees those drivers, and that happens. The challenge is that if you're not super technically savvy, you kind of just want it to work all the time. And that's essentially what the web presenter does. The web presenter is a SDI and HDMI input based product. Okay. And when you plug in one of those sources, it basically turns it into a web camera. So any device that you actually would hook to this just suddenly looks like a web camera to any type of Twitch, Facebook Live, YouTube Live. All of these streaming softwares just think it's a web camera. So I'm not worried about what do I have to load the drivers, is it taking the audio, is it taking only the video, what's going on with the software. So from a simplicity standpoint, for the $500 box, it's going to take 1080 or whatever signal you give it and just turn it into a nice 720 low latency signal that looks like a web camera to go out. The other great part here is that if you buy the smart panel, which is an $85 panel for the front, you can actually cut between the 2 cameras yourself. So what's great is with the SDI and the HDMIs, a lot of times if I'm going something on the road, I'm going to be doing it myself. Yeah. And I want to have my talking head, but I have a keynote presentation on my laptop. Now I can take the HDMI out of the laptop, use it as an input, have my 1 camera facing me, and now I can just cut between those 2 sources. So, hey, I'm talking about a product that I want to do or one of my hobbies. Now I want to go to a still. I can go ahead and just go to that other source, and I have basically a 2-channel switcher right in the hardware right here. We do have a number of products that we came built together, and we're really excited to be announcing our ATEM Television Studio Pro HD at NAB 2017.
Let's take a look at that.
Sounds good. So this is our ATEM Television Studio Pro HD. Okay. This is a new switcher panel combination which we've never really created before. We've had our ability to have a switcher. Someone could go ahead and use that with a software control surface or a hardware control surface. We've never had them integrated together. This unit does integrate the actual switcher itself. Okay. So all of my inputs, much like I would have on my ATEM Television Studio, are on the back here. I have my panel which has all of my tactile controls, the ability to actually go between my previews, do straight cuts, do my transitions. All of these are basically laid out in a way that's very simple and easy to understand. So whether I'm a longtime broadcast professional or if we go to houses of worship or educational facilities, they're learning things for the first time or they're using volunteers. So we really wanted to make sure that everyone was able to see, look, I want this particular wipe. Now I've gone ahead and done that particular wipe. all of our audio controls being here. But what we're really excited about is also providing all of the CCU control when you use the Blackmagic cameras. Talkback, tally, color shading. So what happens when you use our Blackmagic cameras is you have your SDI feeds coming back to this actual ATEM, and then you have a return feed going back to the camera. So actually on my preview right now, I've got this camera behind us, and I can do things like adjust the actual color, adjusting the level, adjusting the gain. And this is a great way for if people are using multiple cameras to say, look, that camera looks a little blue, that camera looks a little red, how do I adjust all that?
Just like with the regular ATEM.
Just like with the regular ATEM, but the difference is that that's all now integrated into one solution. This whole product costs $22.95. So for just a little over $2,000, getting an 8-channel HD input switcher with all of this functionality, something we've never been able to do before. Really excited to be bringing this out at NAB 2017.
And that's at Blackmagic. Jeffrey Powers with Geekazine, youtube.com/Geekazine. Check everything out over there. Subscribe and like the video. And of course, geek out and take care.